would be taking a session on the basics of AI and machine learning on Azure. So basically, I would like to clear one of the myth that everyone has that AI and ML is the same thing. It's not. Uh, Artificial intelligence is more about how the computer mimics a human. Like he can help with writing you emails or writing a code for you or anything. And machine learning is basically a subset of AI which understands the user behavior and then creates a code out of that. So both of them are different, and both of them are available on Azure. Both the services are available there. And as you know, Azure is a Microsoft cloud computing platform, and it has multiple services where you can basically build and deploy and manage all your applications, all different kind of applications. Maybe it's a Python, a PHP, or a React application. Anything could be built there, deployed, and you can manage multiple applications. But the good part is that they have AI and ML also integrated inside, and this actually provides a much flexible and scalable solution for modern data-driven applications which are very big in size and has to compute multiple things at one point of time. So it comes handy there. Some of the features that are there are basically the ML is automated, so they automatically train and tune the algos as new algos come up and new things happen. So it keeps on doing it and updating it itself. And also they have a designer mode where you can actually have a drag and a drop kind of interface where you can actually create a pipeline for the machine languages without any coding. So you can directly open it as a studio. It's a designer studio, and just drag and drop and keep the uh, create the code there. And they also have integration with Jupyter notebooks. So it's a code first kind of an approach. It's very helpful for people who are doing data science and data analysis. So it really helps them out. So it's really easy for them. And they also have an ML ops, which is a machine learning operation. So it includes a CI/CD pipeline for the machine language, so that there's no blockage happening and everybody knows what is happening around the at code. And you can also, once you start this using Azure for your project, there are some of the API services that are already there and they are built in. You just have to pull in. So you can have APIs. If your project is into vision, you can have like image analysis happening at any given point of time. You can also have speech recognition, text to speech, translating an article or a text block into another language. Maybe it's in English and you need to translate into Spanish or something like that. That is also very much possible. They have ready APIs for that, and they can also do language understanding, and they can have text analysis done also. And uh, decision making is also done where you do content moderation and personalization. And you can, maybe if you read an article about maybe football, and the next article that comes for a personalized recommendation would be another football article rather than giving you a article for another sports. So it understands what you like, and based on that you can use these APIs. And obviously they have the binge search API for web search, which can be used to directly search on the web for obviously the articles, the images, and the videos and new searches. So that is also a useful API if you have a product running around that. So you can directly user while reading an article can search for image of that particular person or that particular topic or video directly through your app, and then you can use this API for that. Obviously, and they also have bot services. So these bots are basically chatbots that would be directly built there, and they could be tested and deployed there itself only rather than putting code from one place to another. These bots are useful when you are creating a maybe a customer B2C kind of a a product where the customer needs to ask like a first 10 or 15 set of questions that are very common, frequently asked questions, which could be tackled through a bot rather than a live person. And if that is not resolved, it could be then moved to a human person. So the bots are very useful at that point, and we can see the bots getting used in Slack, in Microsoft Teams. You can see even in Discord. You can see multiple bots are getting made, and they are really helpful for the people to automate this process rather than waiting for a human to respond and then move forward. Uh, they also have Databricks. So Azure Databricks is something that is very useful. So because it supports multiple languages, so maybe you are writing in Python or Scala or whatever it is. So it helps you out, and you can actually collaborate using Jupyter notebooks. So there are multiple developers working on one product, and they can actually work simultaneously and then pull in the code using the ML workforce to the cloud. And this is done using the Databricks part. They also have a data lake storage, which is actually scalable and very secure for high performance data analysis workload if you are doing it. If the size of the analysis and the data is very large, so you can actually, it can store it here, and it is very ideal for the projects which have very large amount of data, which are the ML project. So you can keep it here and analyze it. It's much faster, and it responds much faster as compared to the traditional storage devices. And there's another service that is the IoT Edge. That is the the IoT devices. So maybe familiar with the devices that we live around with. Maybe smart speakers, a smart watch. There are smart bulbs happening around everywhere. So we can actually run the MI model directly on the server, and we can actually have a real-time insight. And without sending any data to the cloud, we can see that what is the response, how it is working out. Maybe there's a flaw, maybe it's working or not. So that is something that we can actually directly do it without sending it to the cloud. So the IoT edge service is very good if you are into creating IoT devices and the physical devices at any point of time. Also, we obviously, when everything is made, these codes are made and everything. So obviously, we need DevOps happening at any point of time. So you can actually manage the whole software development cycle here. You can actually have repos kept here. There are pipelines, CI/CD pipelines for automatic, testing and deployment of the code. If everything is correct, it can directly be tested out and then submitted. So the pipelines can be used here. Obviously, and they also have boards. So the product managers and the project managers who are using Agile for uh, creating the product and checking on the backlogs and everything. It's very helpful for them. So all these things are provided in the DevOps part, and obviously the test, you can obviously automate the test and end of testers can look in. So that is something that is available. And while deploying these projects, so as you know that nowadays we are into using containers for the applications. So they have the Kubernetes services also, which you can manage directly from the UI part, and this can help you deploy the containers of the application. And based on the the scalability of the product, it actually increases and decreases based on that. And you can actually increase the number of containers when the traffic is high or when the model is using more data to process it. So, it can be used there. So these Kubernetes services can directly be used from the Azure interface. And also, they also have the serverless compute for ML models. So they can actually run code on demand without using the provisioning the interface. So directly it can be done. So the traditional way of doing it was getting the server installed and getting everything done. So because there is a serverless compute for ML models, so it is much faster and much easier to do it as compared to the traditional methods of installing a server and then getting it done. And the good part is that it actually, supports different programming languages. So depending upon whichever programming language you like and whichever programming you're using it for the product, you can actually directly implement it here and take it forward. So yeah, so I'll just tell you quickly how you can actually start using this Azure interface. It's a very simple 5 step. It's a very high level that I'm just using it. That you can actually directly go to the website and sign up and start with the credits that you get to understand the system. You can then set up an environment, maybe using a ML Studio or Databricks or the notebooks, whatever suits your project based on your project. And you can then, use the services that you want. Maybe you're using one of the APIs for, sending the uh, text from one, text box to another text box, and then uh, taking out the result in another language or something like that. So you can use whatever API you want, and post that you can actually train the model using the Azure tools, so that you can see that what the person likes to read, maybe in a in an article format. Maybe it likes to read a particular article of a particular writer or something like that. So you can train it throughout the time, and it will then recommend it the same things to the article, so that the person is actually engaged and he is actually liking is actually reading the articles which he likes. Based on that, this thing works. And obviously post that you can actually deploy it and keep monitoring the performance, maybe on the Kubernetes or the serverless ML, wherever you want to deploy it, and you can actually look into the performance of that. If the performance is fine, then I guess the product is working fine. If you see that the performance is fluctuating, maybe you'll have to figure out the size of the content that you're using and all that. So a bit of configuration is required at this stage, but post this, the project might run much faster and easier. And to learn all this stuff, we have free learning paths. You can directly and check out all these how these things are used and how you can use them. Obviously, there's a documentation also, which may be a bit more technical, and helping you with the API references, the responses that you'll get, how you have to post the request, it's a post or a get or delete, whatever you want to do, and how the response will get. So all these references are also obviously in the documentation. And you can obviously, once you are confident enough, you can have a certification done for yourself, and obviously it could validate your understanding of AI and ML on Azure, and fruitful for you by understanding what happened. Yeah. Yeah. So this is the overall picture of how we can use AI and ML on Azure.